Drinking the wine. I just turned the water into wine. Yo, Katt Williams is back. Round two, y'all. Let's go. Round 2, y'all. Let's go. Now, I got to tell you, man, I enjoyed this interview. I love the Club Shay Shay one. I'm sure we all do, right? But this one is great too. Okay, it's great in its own way. What I appreciate about this interview is that Katt didn't come with all that extra gossip and celebrity BS that we have already heard enough of, right? They went into some deep conversations. I mean, I go down the rabbit hole a lot on YouTube, so nothing that I heard really was surprising to me. But I know that a lot of y'all that don't really listen to this, now I know a lot of y'all that follow this channel do, and thank you so much for the likes and the subscribes. That's how we get this message out here. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we talk about. But, you know, the people out there that are in their own other worlds, which is fine with that, they ain't really on this, man. They ain't really knowing about this, like where he goes off and talking about the emerald tablets and the chapters of the Bible that they took out and all kinds of things, and the rituals, the Hollywood rituals, and that pyramids are not built by men. Let's just get into it, man. I got a list right here of 13. And if y'all know what I'm saying, interesting number, right? So yeah, we got 13 facts that we going to talk about in this Katt Williams and Joe Rogan interview. The first one I want to start with is Katt Williams saying that he knows that Joe Rogan is not part of the Illuminati, but he is.
They don't have to get elected. It's even better. Even nicer. They can stay for a long time. They can, I mean, think about J. Edgar Hoover. How long did that motherfucker stay in power for? He was running the FBI wearing a dress for like 30 years.
Because of what you just discussed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like there are that's why I can speak with impunity about the Illuminati, because I know who you would have to be in order for what I'm saying to bother you, number one.
Right.
Number two, I know your big secret. I know that you're not the Illuminati. I am. So you can't be illuminated. You're too dark.
All right, so this was an interesting one right here. I've been hearing people on Twitter and online saying that, Katt Williams checked Joe Rogan on this question. It was a racist question where Joe basically asked him about why do black people like menthol cigarettes? I don't know. Y'all tell me what you think about this one.
It's terrible.
Why do black people like menthol so much? We'll tell about it. It's a totally different type of cigarette.
You're going to get me canceled.
No.
This is very racist, this
Is
conversation, even though neither of us are.
Just talking about
Exactly.
a
Just
cigarette that
us
people enjoy?
saying, why do black people like Newport so much? And a black
Menthol
black
cigarettes.
person actually getting ready to answer this.
Yeah, he's right. I see the point he's saying. They're not racist, but the conversation and the context of the conversation sounds very racist.
I don't think it is.
Well, I don't think it is either. We value strength in product. So there's this whole thing with liquor and malt liquor and the difference between the two, and one is richer and stronger.
And the more potent version.
Right. And as
that makes
as
sense.
a people, we tend to go with those products.
I also would like to add, though, I mean, I see Katt, that was a very well thought out answer that he gave to Joe Rogan, but I would also like to add to that a lot of those cigarettes and malt liquor is also put in the black communities. I mean, if you go to a liquor store in Beverly Hills or even just a grocery store, the selection of alcohol and you already know food and all that stuff is much different than the selections in certain communities. So I think of people are raised on that and grew up on that, and it's just passed down from generation to generation. It's just like, man, you know, how you going front, man, especially if it's in your environment. But let me get into this next one where they're basically getting into the discussion of the mark of the beast. And we basically all know about that. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Like, we got a dude right now that's telling you front and center that I put a computer in somebody's head, guys.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. And everybody's going, yay.
It's the greatest thing in the world, sir.
Yeah.
But we understood this 15, 20, 25 years ago. We understood while watching Tron or while watching Cyborg, we understood that there was just this small line medically that needed to be crossed in order for us to be able to do these things.
Yeah.
Like if you can hook a battery up to an octopus and make it go like this, you're halfway there.
Here we go, man. This is the part, you know, when Joe starts making that face, you know, we going down the rabbit hole. So yes, the Anunnaki. I did some research on the Anunnaki on Wikipedia. From what I remember checking out some of the things is that a lot of people say that these were a highly civilized ancient beings that came here even before Egyptians. You know, maybe they're the ones that built the pyramids, which we'll get into. And basically the Great Pyramids of Giza were not what they were telling you in the Bible and are not what they are telling you in old, you know, scriptures of what the pyramids were for. That the pyramids are really power generators and that were used to be some kind of a communication between us and other planets. The compass and the Anunnaki.
That you see that all the Anunnaki guys that have that look like a wristwatch, and they always have it, and you're always trying to see what that is.
Yeah, what is that?
It is a time, and it's a compass. It's a timekeeping compass.
That's what that is?
Yeah. So that's what made the carrier of great importance, because he was able to do things that were magical in nature, like go somewhere and get right back. Like, you know what I mean?
So they had some very bizarre knowledge too. They had a detailed knowledge of cosmology. They had a really detailed knowledge of our solar system.
100% of the writings across the world, whoever said anything about space or the universe or what was out there, why were all of them correct, Joe? It's not even possible. Like, how did they know that Mars was the red planet, and why was it a worldwide fact?
True.
Right.
Planetarily, that Saturn had rings, like,
Yeah.
based upon what information? Because nobody worldwide is disagreeing. No people built the pyramids.
No people?
No.
Who built them?
No people built the pyramids. And if you look around the world, you see certain telltale things that let you know that advanced machinery was in usage. Look, there... This whole thing where slaves are stronger people.
I'm so glad that Katt said this though, man, because like I said, I was even having this debate with people in Egypt that had never been to the pyramids. Could you believe that? They're in Egypt and they hadn't been to the pyramids yet. And I was just like, all right, you know, cool. I'd already been there like 3 times by then. And I was just like, yo, man, the pyramids weren't built by men. You know, you could think that. I already knew that before I got there. It's just that when I got there, it confirmed it. Once you go there, man, and you see the pyramids in person, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, heck no. Oh, heck no, this ain't built by no man. Nah, for sure. Get up out of here. Get up out of here. So I'm glad that Katt is at least speaking this into the mainstream.
No.
Nor since.
Now
since.
or, yeah.
Nor since.
Right.
The Great Pyramid of Giza is insane.
Right.
All right, so let's get into the Emerald Tablets and the story of Thoth.
And the Emerald Tablets of Thoth are literally mind-changing and mind-blowing, just because you understand when this was written and the terminology being used is
When was it written?
far too accurate for now.
All right, let's get into the next one. I guess you guys can see so far where this interview is going now. You know what I'm saying? We're going down this rabbit hole for sure. The next one is space encounters were real, and that we're talking about aliens, but that we've been seeing aliens since the beginning of time. This is no futuristic thing or something that is new. Yeah, space encounters were real. Number 7.
our inventions, that's when you know that these space encounters were real, because we only have advancement in a couple of industries in the world, and everything else is nothing. So like the microwave that they had 30 years ago, it looks the same as the same microwave now. Why? Because it was done as a military thing. It was supposed to be a weapon, and then they found out, it heats up food, and they put a door on it. And so it hasn't changed at all, because invention is very difficult.
Now, let's get into number 6, which they talk about abundant minerals in space, and that NASA could really be going to outer space. JPL, all of them, they're really going out there to do other things. Maybe it's not just to communicate with other intelligence out there, but maybe it's also to get minerals and collect minerals, because I think they said that they did a report that certain minerals from space could be worth billions of dollars here on Earth, and that there's enough minerals in space that can make everybody on Earth a billionaire.
They found one meteor that was worth all the money
on Earth.
Yeah, 770 billion. No, trillion. It was another number. Some crazy number. Right. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, they know that there's spots in space that have abundant minerals that are very valuable. And the thing about the Sumerian story, the Sumerian tech story, the real life story may make everyone a billionaire on this earth. Everyone would be a billionaire.
But
every person would earn several billion dollars.
So it sounds jokey, right? But understand, somebody got this contract. Like, they broke this up into several worldwide contracts. Like
10,000 quadrillion.
It's just there.
They going into it. Now, we all know about the billionaires that got the bunkers, right? It's interesting how even right here, The Guardian is calling it the billionaire trend, doomsday bunkers with flammable moat. Yeah, man. Mark Zuckerberg, we know that he's one of them that's built the bunkers. Interesting. Picture right here too of Mark Zuckerberg. Notice how billionaires that are into tech and don't do hip hop or rap just dress so casual, where if he wasn't famous, you would never know anything about him. No jewelry, no flaunting, no extravagant women, just chilling with his weird steak or whatever. Oh yeah, okay, so we also got Peter Thiel. These are the billionaires who run the world, and I think he was actually one of the first investors of Facebook, who are building bunkers. Oh, Kim Kardashian, I wouldn't be surprised. You know who else I heard is building bunkers that they didn't talk about? And that would be Kanye West. I heard he was trying to do that in Malibu, but of course in Malibu they didn't want that, and they kicked his ass up out of there. But that's how they get down out there, They don't care. They don't care how rich you are out there. They rich too. They like, nah, man, we don't want no rappers out here.
I just wonder where it's all headed, because if it seems like we're building towards an event. I think about it all the time. It seems like it's not.
It's time to get a bunker.
It seems like it might be a good time to get a bunker, or at least a supply of water.
Well, here's the thing. If you follow what becomes accessible, that's how you can generally see where things are going.
All right, and we've all heard about this one. This is the one that's trending online. The one where basically he's talking about Hollywood and the Hollywood propaganda, and that Hollywood is not really meant to entertain you. It's really meant to push an agenda and push propaganda. At least, definitely that's what it seems like lately. But I mean, if you go back and you look at movies that were done, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, or even plus, it does seem like a lot of those videos were also to push an agenda and propaganda just for those specific times. So, yeah, the Hollywood propaganda, number 4. Like I said before, I'm just doing the ones that stuck out to me and the ones that I feel that are really important to get out there. But there's a whole bunch of other stuff in this interview that you guys obviously should go check out for yourselves. All right, let's get into fact number 3, which is where they talk about the one world government and global power organizations, man. This was the one that I really love, because this is about like the powers that be and all that stuff. You don't really hear too many people talk about this on a large scale, on a mainstream level. So once again, it's great to hear Joe Rogan and Katt Williams expressing this truth and this knowledge out here to the masses.
This is why those one world people exist, because it's a very powerful concept to have and far too lucrative and beneficial to not be attempted.
Yeah, I mean, if I was going to run some global power organization, I would try to co-opt every single leader, try to suck them in, offer support, bring them out to wherever the fuck I have my big-ass meetings, fly everybody in private jets, talk about the climate crisis.
All organizations have to follow the same rules.
Yeah.
Recruitment is an important facet of all. Like,
we have to get some young global leaders.
Well, understand, this is the only reason that we can talk about these big Illuminati-like entities at this period of time. It's just because of time. Like, they aged out. Like, you can't get in new, so everybody got decrepit over there, and they can't exchange, really, through this period of history. And so that's how we ended up with the Bob Lazars and everything. Throughout history, you could really, it was much easier to get people to not tell nobody. These extremists liked and provided it, and provided the way for you to, to have $1 billion and not create a fantasy island type environment has not existed throughout history.
Right. Let's get into fact number 2, which was one of my favorite ones. Tesla and the real reason why we have electric cars. And I don't mean Tesla, the Teslas that you drive. I'm talking about Tesla, the inventor, the one that they said that they stole all the information from. And there's also some conspiracy theories around him that I've been reading on that maybe I'll get into later. But that he was actually, his goal was to actually make electricity free for everyone. And of course, the powers that be didn't want that. So let's get into that one.
Tesla is saying about electricity is the fact that he's saying this should be free for everybody, everywhere.
Yeah, he wanted to have aerial electricity free for everybody, like radio waves.
And the day that you say that,
that's a wrap.
It's cheaper to keep her because we make $200 billion a day.
Yeah.
And we all agree universally you should pay for this, and we'll be in charge of selling it to you.
And we'll shut it off if you fuck around.
So for us to say, I think they're going to do that with cars.
Duh.
This is how this goes in these
100%.
processes.
Yeah, that's the conspiracy theorist's biggest fear about electric cars. But it's not just electric cars. We found out it's
Joe, I don't think that's a conspiracy theory.
It's an OnStar. It's on, I have a Cadillac Escalade. That has an OnStar. If I'm driving, the government wants to stop me, they can just shut my car off. It's crazy.
And if you were in that business, what would you tell them they need to do in the next 5 years?
Yeah, make them all like that.
Get better at it?
Yeah, get better at that. Control where they go, control the steering wheel, control everything. I want you to auto driving on all cars. Auto driving on all cars with third-party input.
Is this not what we would say to Tesla?
Yeah.
To Elon, if he said, I want to make cars.
Right.
When we say, okay, well, these are the regulations, and you have to make them like this, and you.
It'd be nice if you could just control that car.
Yeah, man, this is a pretty interesting interview. Oh, and by the way, I want to say happy leap year and leap day, because, man, today we're actually filming on a leap year. Yeah. So happy that, man. Yeah, for real. Shout out to all the birthdays today, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all those that have a birthday today, for real. Yo, man, what better day to have a conversation about space and time and religion and all types of things and calendars and compasses and the solar system during a leap day on a leap year. What better time to do this? This is great, man. So let's get into the chapter, the main one. Least but not last, fact number 1. The banned books from the Bible. Yes, the chapters that were removed from the Bible, such as the book of Enoch. Let's go.
Ezekiel's story is essentially about a UFO encounter.
I was really frustrated as a black person that we weren't included more in the Bible, right? And so I felt very good when I found that some of the books of the Bible that were banned because they had black guys in them.
Really? What books of the Bible? This is the New Testament? Is this when they were
You've heard the book.
Constantine?
You've heard about the book of Enoch, right?
Yes.
Right.
What is Katt
If you
doing
know
right
that
there,
book,
man?
It says that Noah.
What is Katt doing right here? And Joe's just looking at him like, okay, so.
So if you know that book, it says
Was Joe smoking weed during this interview? I'm not sure.
that Noah was an albino.
Yeah, man, I don't know what y'all's thoughts are on this, but I got to tell you, to me, this was a very strange interview. I did enjoy it, but I don't know, man. Like, I do feel that they were speaking on some good things, but I just feel like they could have went further down that rabbit hole, and I feel like they both were kind of playing it safe. It was like two conspiracy theorists having a conversation, but trying to be as diplomatic and politically correct as possible. It was just, come on, man. Are we going to talk about it or are we not going to talk about it? Now, I understand it's being filmed. I understand that it's for the masses, so there's only so much you could say. It's just like, man, is that what's going on now, man? That we can't even talk about stuff on the internet now, man? Like, that's where we at now? I don't know. But, yeah, man, y'all tell me what you think, man. For the most part, it's a great interview. They speak in some knowledge that we don't hear every single day. And what better time and place and day but than to do it on a leap year. So, yeah,